So this is the story, Mexico's fight for independence, and I kind of had to go back and look over the last couple pages because it's been like a couple days since I looked it over. And what I remembered, and I was accurate, is they talked a lot about the different groups of people that were wiped out, completely disappeared, and that because those cultures didn't keep a lot of, and those they didn't have a lot of written form of their history, it kind of got lost. They talked a little bit again about smallpox, and I'm just revisiting this because the more I think about the things that are going on now and the things I think about that we're doing, it's so critical to just record your daily activities, what you're thinking, what you're noticing, anything that you're reading, because the truth is it could be part of history. So I'm gonna read this. We have 4 pages today or 5 for the history, and then tomorrow we take the test, and then we're gonna read a little bit more about that the perpetual motion, and being an engineer. So I am gonna try to make a talk today, but I'm not gonna. I'll focus on my Mexico's fight for independence. Here we go. Mexico was now independent. The Mexicans fought for their freedom for 11 years. They may have lost as many as 600,000 lives. At last, their long years of sacrifice had paid off. They were free and independent. But the Creoles couldn't agree on how Mexico's government should work. Some people wanted a monarchy ruled by a king. Others desired a republic like the United States, governed by Mexico's citizens. Iturbide decided for everyone in 1822 when he established a monarchy by declaring himself Emperor Augustine I. He was not a good ruler, and the people turned against him. By 1823, he was dethroned. Yeah, I think when you declare yourself anything, that's probably not, it's like, I am the best at ever. I mean, you probably don't have the authority to name yourself the best at anything. And to name yourself a ruler, I think you probably need to have a very good record or, I don't know, better military, I guess, is the only thing I could think of. Or followers. Republic. After Iturbide was dethroned, a Congress was established. This Congress wrote a constitution for a democratic country similar to the United States. However, there were still major disagreements. There's always going to be that. One group wanted a strong central government and wanted Roman Catholicism to be the national religion, and another group wanted the states to have more power, and they wanted to be free to worship as they wished. At last, in 1824, the groups reached a compromise, and Mexico became a republic. They formed a national government led by a two-house Congress, a governor, and a legislature led each state. The first president was Guadalupe Victoria. Did you know Mexico's national flag was created in 1821? Green represents independence, white is for religious purity, and red stands for the Spanish who joined the Mexicans in the fight for independence, plus the blood of Mexican heroes. I always think flags are very fascinating to see what they are standing for. It's very fascinating. I mean, to me, I don't know. Cinco de Mayo. Okay, here we go. This whole reason why I wanted to know, what is Cinco de Mayo? My big question was, what does Cinco de Mayo have to do with history? Is it just a day that people make up, or is it actually a actual day that something important happened on? So here we go. Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, is not Mexican Independence Day. It celebrates the victory of a small group of Mexicans over French army at the Battle of Puebla. Ahaha! So, it does not, I was going to say, because they said earlier it was in September. The Mexican celebration. The Mexican people will never forget the people and the events that led their country's independence. Mexican Independence Day is a huge celebration or fiesta every year throughout Mexico. Each year, the celebration begins on the night of September 15th. People all over Mexico gather in town centers. In Mexico City, around 500,000 people crowd into the city square. Okay, so my question is answered up here. That it is not Mexico's Independence Day. It's not the day for their independence. It is the celebration of a small victory. You know, I don't really know if I could say that I know for sure what what that would be like in American history, but I mean, I know on the 4th of July, there was a lot of things that led up to it, and, you know, and we have Independence Day. There were lots of other events that took place. It didn't just happen on that day. Because of time and communication, it happened several months prior to that, but for things to kind of go through and stop. So we'll learn a little bit about that more coming up, because we do have a book to read about the United States celebration of independence. Everyone watches the clock. At exactly 11 o'clock, the crowd quiets. Mexico's president comes out of the palace onto the balcony. He wears a sash of red, white, and green and carries a large Mexican flag. The president rings the same Liberty Bell that Hidalgo rang when he called the people to fight against the Spanish for their freedom. As Hidalgo did so many years ago, the president shouts, "Viva Mexico! Viva la Independencia!" Independencia? I don't know exactly how to say that. His voice booms through loudspeakers. Kind of cool that so they do the same thing. Historical, like, reenactment. Last page. The crowd screams, "Viva Mexico! Viva la Independencia!" Again, massacring that word, so I apologize. While they toss confetti and blow on their horns, everyone sings Mexico's national anthem. Red, white, and green fireworks light the sky. Familiar ceremonies take place all over Mexico at the same time. The next day, September 16th, is Independence Day. Mexicans celebrate with parades, feasts, rodeos, bullfights, and horseback riding competitions. Statues of Hidalgo are decorated with red, white, and green flowers. It is a fine celebration in honor of Mexico's long, hard, yet rewarding fight for independence. Well, I am super glad that I now know Cinco de Mayo is not the celebration of their independence. It's for a smaller battle that took place, and I don't know if people everywhere know that, or if it's just, something people do just because they do it. And everybody loves tacos. Well, I should say everybody, but many people do. And I always think it's funny because they'll be like, "Oh, we have to celebrate for Cinco de Mayo." It's like, well, what is that celebrating? I mean, they're like, "Oh, Mexico's independence." And now I can be like, well, actually, the journey to their independence, part of the journey to their independence. So here's a timeline. Timelines are really important to use because they kind of summarize the information. So hopefully when you guys are using this, these are good things to kind of keep you in line. And in many cases, I've seen a lot of teachers and a lot of magazine articles where they just create their own timeline. It'd be interesting, like I've seen timelines of the coronavirus in the United States or around the world and how it just kind of tracks it. So it doesn't have to be disease related or war related. There can be timelines of people's lives as well. All right, well, I hope that you learned something from this, and now we're gonna finish up our last reading in the next video for science.